Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. As Americans, as people that live in this country, we are constantly bombarded with things that make us spend money every single day. Not just from stores, specials that you see, pharmacies, restaurants, fast food establishments that we see in real life, but things that are advertised to us on TV, the internet, newspaper, magazines, whatever it may be, right? We're constantly being advertised things for us to buy and spend money on. One of the things that I have been noticing most recently in the business of advertising is restaurant chains like Chili's, Applebee's, starting to come up with items that are directly competing against fast food establishments. Recently Chili's has been doing this thing where they have this $10.99 3 for me deal at Chili's. And usually it's done with a burger, right? The burger is like the main course of this meal. It's a burger, French fries, some chips and salsa, and a drink for $10.99. It has been already shown many times and is directly competing with McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King on the value of the meal and the quantity that you get from that $10.99 meal at Chili's. So much to at the point where they're straight up copying what they sell at McDonald's. I just saw a commercial a couple days ago where it was the Chili's 3 for me. It was essentially a quarter pounder, but they just called it a QP burger at Chili's, and it looks, exactly like the quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's. But you can get that meal, right? The QP, the fries, drink, and chips and salsa for $10.99 at Chili's. Whereas I believe at McDonald's, you get the burger, the fries, the drink for 13 something. So they're already beating them outright at their own game, essentially. Essentially taking the item from their menu, calling it something a little bit different, but it's the same exact thing, and putting it on their menu. Savagery. Absolute savagery. I think Chili's has understood that, well, if McDonald's is not going to lower their prices on their crappy, shitty food, then we will do that with our food for certain items and make it better. That way we get more and more customers. At least that's what I think is happening. From just a average consumer's perspective, it feels like that's the way that the industry is kind of going. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, once they kind of have these options that are available to me and you, whenever we go to these restaurants, I don't know if they can flat out take them away either. People will be going there specifically for these items to get that $10.99 3 for me. I would be there to get that item specifically because that's what it was advertised. So how long can they keep this up? Is this going to be an everlasting thing? There's no way it can be. I don't think that it can. I think they're just trying to strike right now while the iron's hot. That way they can kind of make some money where McDonald's is losing money. And I'm not saying McDonald's is losing a ton of money, but McDonald's is definitely, missing out on some of these sales that Chili's is beginning to acquire. you know, and I just cannot see that this 10.99 3 for me actually continues to be a thing that far into the future, the way that the economy is going right now. But if you are an average Chili's goer, or you are thinking like, where should we go eat for dinner? And you're like, I don't want to cook anything. I don't want to go to the store and buy stuff to cook. Chili's might be a pretty nice option, especially if you're on a budget and you want a good amount of food for dinner. That might actually be and pretty good tasting food too. I mean, I haven't had the 3 for me at Chili's, but I have had burgers from Chili's in the past, and they are pretty good. I think I had one like recently, like maybe about like 4 months ago. It was actually pretty good. I'm like, you know what? This is like not bad. The price isn't that bad. The quality of the burger is delicious. The fries are good. You get a drink as well. Like, this is some good stuff. It's not bad. But I directly competing with each other, straight up copying the name of their items, essentially, and not even like batting an eye. They don't even care at this point. I mean, why would you care? It's competition. It's not like they're straight up, attacking McDonald's like headquarters, right? They're just beating them in the advertising game. That's kind of like what it all is, right? Advertising is a tool that is proven successful. If you advertise something well, people are going to buy whatever it is you're advertising. If you don't advertise it well, people won't buy it. Or not as many people will as you probably hope would. It's like a hacking of a brain. You gotta, find a way to get into a person's mind and see like what actually plays to consumers on what they're looking for when they're trying to spend their money on something. What exactly is going to attract someone's eye in, if it's a food thing, like if it's a food commercial, I think the best way to advertise it is have somebody eat the said item. I remember back like 20 years ago maybe, Carl's Jr. had like the best commercials ever for a fast food cheeseburger. They had beautiful women just eating the burger, right? Not just like, an image of it. Like I remember McDonald's would just have like maybe the image just kind of spinning around with the price there. Maybe someone dipping a fry in the background and some ketchup and stuff like that. And then them just looking all happy and smiling and like, yay, we're at McDonald's. Like, Carl's Jr. was like, nah, fuck that. We're going to have some pretty lady in a bikini eat this burger. Like, that'll get them to buy. And I cannot tell you how many times that I had wanted and got Carl's Jr. burgers because of those commercials. How good they made the burgers look. I mean, I got the bacon western cheeseburger from there. I think the Big Carl was advertised like that. I think the double western bacon when that first came out was advertised like that. I mean, these were like some monumental burgers that, I mean, let's be honest, they never looked as good as they did on the commercial. Not as juicy, it didn't look as good, but hey, it got me to go buy the burger, I'll be honest. Having someone actually eat the item, I think would be, kind of like, I guess, better. And then just showing it like as an image or like a video of it, I think. That would be the best part. But, you can't do that with everything, though. Like, for instance, in America, you can't have anyone drink an alcoholic beverage and be on a commercial. If you haven't noticed, every beer commercial or every liquor commercial in America, no one in the commercial is allowed to drink the alcohol. I don't know why, but they can't. So they just have people like socializing with the beverage, partying, having fun, cracking a joke, talk about it, everything but actually drinking the product. Whereas soda, they're just chugging away, cracking it open, taking a sip. I mean, I've seen commercials like from Sprite, like, oh, LeBron James drinking a bottle of Sprite, Anthony Edwards drinking a bottle of Sprite. Looking like it's quenching their thirst and giving them some sort of like magical, refreshing energy. Doesn't do that, but hey, it's not alcohol, so they're allowed to drink it at will. Now, do I believe that those people actually drink Sprite? No, not at all. But hey, I mean, it works for, selling Sprite. I think that that's something that is, works for them. I haven't checked the Sprite sales this past quarter, but I'm pretty sure that they're doing okay. If they're getting people like Anthony Edwards to be in their commercials, he's a basketball player. If you don't know who that is, he's a pretty, big star in terms of the NBA's popularity. So, I mean, good choice on that. But I mean, like, I doubt, like, that it's going to change how much people drink Sprite. You know what I'm saying? But that can't be done in alcohol at all. And recently, Bud Light has had a campaign. I think it began with the Super Bowl with Post Malone, Shane Gillis, Peyton Manning, being the spokesman for Bud Light. And they even kind of make fun of in the commercial, like, hey, you're not allowed to drink beer in a beer commercial, stuff like that. Like they play on the realities and the boundaries of what they can do and what they can't do in the commercial. And they make a joke out of it. Like that, to me, works. I don't know. Maybe just appeals to me. You got to appeal to the audience that you have created. Obviously, a beer commercial is more directed to me than to like someone who loves soda or somebody who would rather have tequila or a seltzer, right? They know the audience. You have to know your audience in order to have, good advertising and good sales, I think. I don't know. But what I've been noticing also, too, is I've been watching the NBA playoffs. And, the NBA has gotten more and more prominent and outright showing sponsorships on the courts in like the past 5 years. They CGI like a sponsor actually on the court. They change it from like quarter to quarter of who's sponsoring or whose, brand is on the court in an NBA game. Not just in the playoffs, but out through the regular season and all that. But that's been happening for at least I can remember like the past 5 years. That's just kind of been a thing. But they do have a specific sponsor that has been sponsoring the entire playoffs like throughout like this entire year. And it's been Michelob Ultra Zero, which is Michelob Ultra, but with no alcohol. Non-alcoholic beer, right? And Michelob Ultra is like a beer company that really enjoys promoting beer drinking with activeness. If you watch their commercials, it's a dude running a marathon, and once he's done with the marathon, I don't know if you've ever run a marathon before, but if you've like done a lot of cardio in like a short, like a good amount of cardio, like an hour of cardio, it's nowhere even compared to a marathon, but just kind of work with me here. You want to drink water. Usually, most people want to just, chug water. At least that's what I want to do. And all these commercials with Michelob Ultra, not even with just zero ones, but with just regular Michelob Ultra, the guy finishes a marathon, and there's another guy like in the crowd on the sides of the marathon, watching the track. He goes up to the other guy who's just giving out Michelobs, and they're just going to drink a Michelob beer after they run a marathon. That to me is such a weird way to advertise a beer, but it kind of works because Michelob is known for having Very little carbs, very little calories, a very, very, very light beer, like a fit person's beer, right? And I like Michelob Ultra. I really do. I think it's a good beer. It is very, very light. It's even got a skinny can. So not only to make it seem like the beer is a light beer, but now the visual capsule of the beer is skinny. It's a thin can. It's like the size. It's kind of like the Red Bull cans. It's like that skinny. It's not like a soda can like normal beers are in. It's a thin can, so giving the illusion like, oh, this is a skinny beer. This is like if no one ever like has ever seen a Michelob Ultra, and someone gives you a can, you're probably gonna think like, whoa, this is like a slim, sleek can. It even has like on like the, not just in the nutritional like area of the beer can itself, but like just like even on the front of the can, like how many carbs, how many calories per can, like straight advertising to you that this is not just a normal dude's beer. This is a beer that healthy people are drinking, and people that are, watching what they consume day to day, calories, carbohydrates, whatever it may be, that they're aware of what they're consuming. So it's a healthy person's beer, even though beer is not healthy at all. I don't care if you have Michelob Ultra. It's not healthy for you. It just isn't. So what do? They just straight up, I think this might be their first one ever. They just made a zero alcohol beer. Because I've never seen Michelob have a non-alcoholic beer, but here we are, right? Straight up advertising, like one of like the main advertisers of the NBA playoffs right now is Michelob Ultra Zero. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, I really just don't like when companies like that, like beer companies, alcohol companies, make non-alcoholic versions of beer. I really don't. I don't know what it is. It's just like, I feel like if you're going to drink beer. You know what beer is. It's not, you don't just drink it for the flavor. You want to chase a buzz. You want to have a little fun. You want to get a little loose, right? Most people who drink beer know exactly what they're doing when they're drinking beer, what it entitles, what's going to happen when you drink beer. You start making something like a zero non-alcoholic beer, I get a little suspect of what you're trying to do. I just get like, why are you doing that? You know exactly what this is for. You know exactly who's going to buy this. Why are you making a version that has no booze in it? Why? I don't want to say the reason, but I'm thinking because it might not be PC, but I mean, come on. I just think that it's weird when a company like that goes against what they are to make an option for, some people that is, I just don't, I don't care. I don't. It's just like, why is it like that? Why? What? I mean, like, why are you, I don't know. It's like when Coca-Cola made Coca-Cola Zero. I'm like, what are you doing? You're a soda company. You make soda. Soda is, it's a pleasure food item. It's a pleasure drink. Like, you drink it because, it tastes great. You know what's in it. It's bad for you, but you don't care. If you're gonna drink the soda, you're gonna drink the soda. You make that choice. It's your decision. That's your choice. Now, of course, you shouldn't drink a lot of it. You drink it in moderation, maybe once a week or once every couple weeks. But like, you have a little bit of self-control. Same with beer, right? You have self-control. That's a little touchier subject, though. Beer is like, alcohol. It's more mature. You kind of can't talk about it the same way you can with soda, even though soda probably going to kill a lot more people than beer. Let's be honest. I mean, you see those shows that are on, the lifestyle channels out there. These sicko shows that people love to consume for some reason, and I keep seeing them, every day when I'm watching the playoffs, because I think it's like a network of channels that all operate under the same satellite or company or whatever. But the NBA playoffs, At least the Eastern Conference right now is under TNT. I believe that TNT also owns or is partnered with TLC and all these like lifestyle channels that show like reality TV shows, not like the not like Jersey Shore, like the spicier ones, but like the more like uncomfortable real life ones, ones that kind of make you cringe, like 90 Day Fiance, these love reality TV shows. You got those ones, and then you got the ones that I think are the most obscure ones that I've ever seen in my entire life. I remember seeing the first one. I remember seeing like maybe like 15 years ago. It was called My 600-Pound Life. It's just following people who are over 600 pounds, disgusting fat people that for some reason like they think that we want to see how they eat, how they can barely move, their sad lives of being critically obese, like to the point where like they're at doctors and like the doctor's telling them like, you know what, you need to like just not eat any of what you're eating or you're going to die within like a year, and they just don't care. They just keep eating, and for some reason like people just want to show that on TV. Like it's some sort of entertainment. Like someone's life of being sad, fat, can barely move is one man's tragedy. One man's horrible, pitiful life is another man's enjoyment, entertainment. And it hasn't stopped, by the way. That was 15 years ago. There's this new show called like 1,000-Pound Sisters that I've been seeing a lot advertised. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Like, these still are being made? How can anyone actually want to watch this? Like, I feel like in America right now, like we are kind of in like a little bit of a renaissance of healthiness. Like people are more like concerned about their health than ever before, I think. And we have shows like this actually coming out like as a form of entertainment. I mean, the proof is in the pudding too, people. Like if you see people like who are in the public eye, like not like these people on these shows, but like I'm talking about in the public eye, like Lizzo actually losing weight. A great thing, right? Fantastic. But she's getting killed from her so-called fans that she's not one of them anymore. Well, Lizzo is better than you because she's actually putting her health first and you're not. You are allowing her past image and her past mentality continue to be your focal point of your life. And like, no, I want to be fat like Lizzo. I want to eat like Lizzo. I want to play the flute like Lizzo, It's not healthy for you. So that's why it's great to see that she's losing weight and taking her life seriously, her health seriously, because you only get one life. I mean, sure, yeah, you're large, you're popular. She's obviously clearly very talented, a musician. She can play the flute. She has some good music. She's wealthy. She made a lot of money, having a good life. But, at that point, you're like, I have money. I have a flute. I have music. I can order pizza whenever I want. But, like, I'm large. Why am I always out of breath when I do stairs just to the second floor of my house? Like, that stuff kind of creeps in. You're like, well, maybe I could change that. I could maybe go to a gym or like lift a couple weights here and there and, get my heart rate up, and have a better life. That's probably exactly what she was thinking. Like, I need to improve my life so I don't leave this earth as early as I could if I just stay how I am. So like we're a little bit of a health renaissance here in the States. Protein has probably been selling like crazy right now. Protein powder, protein bars, protein chips, protein waffles, protein pancakes. Literally like everything in it is like protein based, which is good because protein helps you build muscle and it makes you stronger. So like it's a protein renaissance, a protein, extravaganza out there. Everything is so focused on protein, which is a good start. And it actually has led a lot of people that I've seen on social media, not just like famous people, but people that I know, actually lead a healthy and better lifestyle for themselves, which is great to see because that's what you want to see is people getting into shape. I think everyone would want that. But it's just also bizarre how like there's just this network of channels of this channel itself just maybe this I don't know is like let's focus on watching these 600-pound elephants live their lives and how they can barely move and order an entire buffet of food for themselves and watch them just inhale the entire thing. Like, that's entertainment? That's freaking wild, man. Those shows have done nothing but, like, repel me from ever watching them. Ever watching them. I don't know what, like, who's the executive that thinks, like, people want to see this? People want to see some 600-pound, 750-pound whale eat an entire IHOP menu and not being able to move afterward. And then 30 minutes later be hungry again. Like, that, there's no way that that's actually someone's thought. Some executive like, yeah, just film that, get it out there. People will watch it. I don't know that many people that even watch those. Like, at all. Like, whenever I see those ads, I'm like, who the hell would want to watch this? This is the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen. These poor people in their lives, and like, yeah, I'm watching for this for entertainment. I honestly cannot believe it. Which is, I mean, so bizarre because we're at a point where like there's healthiness going around. There's, working outs like coming back, protein like I just said. We live in a world of Ozempic now, like where people can take a shot to not make you hungry to lose weight. I mean, hell, we got straight up, ads on TV, just going back to the ads that are literally countering ads that come before the next ad. I saw an ad for Denny's. Denny's is also moving into this weird, strange era of Denny's because I believe Denny's is just dying. I don't see like any hype around Denny's. The Denny's in my town is always empty. There's no one there. It looks abandoned. I don't get I want to go to Denny's ever for any reason whatsoever. And they come out with an ad. I kid you not, is straight up ripping. It's straight up a fast food ad. It's buy one Grand Slam and get another one for $1. Now these Grand Slams have a lot of food in them. A lot of food. Bacon, pancakes, eggs, hash browns, maybe some toast. And you can get another one for only $1? Like the $5, buy a Big Mac for $5 and buy another one for $1, like that type of thing, but for an entire plate of food, and not even in one split second of this ad is it mentioned like share with a friend, take someone with you, take it on a date. Like, no, it's just like buy one Grand Slam, get another one for $1. Like, they're straight up encouraging you. Like, this is like the new normal now. You can't just have one plate of breakfast food when you can have two for $1. It's unbelievable. And guess what the ad was after that ad? It was an ad for fiber gummies if you're backed up. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, if I'm going to have two giant Grand Slams at breakfast for myself, you better believe I'm going to need something to unclog me. Some fiber gummies. Yeah. So, I mean, it's straight up going hand in hand with the advertising in this country right now. You get the bad food advertised to you, the immense amount of chow, get full for a good price, and then get right with these fiber gummies because we know that you're going to be backed up after all that chow. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. I mean, I just don't understand. But whatever makes some money, I guess. They don't care. Eat the food, eat the bad food, and then take our gummies to make you feel better, make your tummy feel better. It's just unbelievable. I look at it and I'm seeing this. And by the way, this ad is not playing on while I'm watching basketball on TV on my couch. This ad is appearing on the TV while I'm on the treadmill at the gym. So it's like a double whammy of like, none of this makes any sense at all. Reality is like almost like a dream now. None of it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, what a bizarre world that I live in, where I'm at the gym working out extremely hard. I get an ad for Denny's to have 2 Grand Slams for myself, one full price and one for $1, and then after that I'm hit with an ad for fiber gummies to make my tummy feel better. Unbelievable. All at the gym. You can't make it up. You really can't. And that is not the end of it either. Anthony Anderson, actor, mainly well known from Kangaroo Jack, has had some ads where I'm pretty sure this is true though, because he says it in the ad. He says that he's diabetic. He has diabetes. And that I believe that he takes Ozempic or some pill that's like Ozempic. He takes some kind of diabetic medication, right? I saw this one like maybe about a year ago. I'm okay, celebrity, a little bit of a heavier guy, diabetic, promoting diabetic medicine. That's fine. That's cool. I'm no problem with that, really. As long as it works and as long as it's safe and all that, it's cool. Whatever. At the same time, the same day at the gym where I see the Denny's ad and then the Fiber Gummies ad, I see another ad from this guy promoting an Arby's sandwich, a fast food sandwich. If you're diabetic, you're not eating fast food. Like, I don't care, like, if you're on the medication, if you got the shots, if you got the thing in the arm, whatever, like, you're not eating fast food, dude. That'll, like, rock your blood sugar like crazy. Like, and I know it's an Arby's sandwich, but like, I know it's not like McDonald's, but still, like, brother, like, that ain't good for you whatsoever. That's gonna be terrible for you. And he's just like preparing the sandwich and looking at it and like saying, like, oh, this looks so good. By the way, Anthony Anderson looks great. He's lost a lot of weight, clearly. This Ozempic or whatever he might be on, diabetic thing, diet, whatever, he's looking a lot better. Like, why are you advertising for Arby's when you look so much better? You don't look like someone's gonna just be eating Arby's all week, I mean, it's just an insane world that we live in, where just these ads are just fighting each other. Maybe not even fighting though. Maybe fighting isn't the right word. Maybe they're just coexisting. Like Batman and the Joker. Like, Batman cannot be Batman, or Joker cannot be, complete without without Batman. Like, the Joker cannot be complete without Batman, and Batman can't be complete without the Joker. Like the fiber gummies are not gonna sell unless we're promoting massive amounts of food for a cheap price at Denny's. I mean, hey, if we got to make money somehow, we got to make people make some poor choices. Fiber gummies are just not going to just sell if everybody's healthy, right? If people are eating immaculate diets and dieting and meal prepping and exercising, you think that the diet gummy business is going to be booming? Hell no. Absolutely not. So maybe we need a little bit of that in the world. Maybe not as much as that they're advertising, like mountains of food for a cheap price. Because let's be honest, is anyone actually going to share that? No. We're gluttonous people. We like amounts. We like quantity. You think that if we go to Italy or Europe, we're going to be satisfied with the portions of their food there? No. We're going to want more of it. I don't care if some amazing chef in Italy makes a tortellini that's like 2 pieces to die for. I'm going to want 10 of those orders of tortellini. I don't want just 2 pieces of tortellini, or I don't know, some exotic pastas that they have, ziti, whatever. I want like a lot of it. I'm an American. I'm not a skinny twig Italian. Come on. I was raised on Little Caesars and Taco Bell. Come on. I'm not going to be satisfied with these tiny portions that they got in Europe. Why do you think everyone's a twig over there? Because they don't know how to eat. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm kind of twiggy now, but like, I've had to earn my twigginess. I've had to shed a lot of weight to get to where I am today. You guys know this already. I've already been through it many times, but I still enjoy eating massive amounts of food as long as I'm able to manage it and also push my body extremely hard to work it all off when I go work out. I mean, then it's all worth it, right? It's all about balance. Really is all about balance when you really think about it. Like that's truly what it is. So if I ever go to Italy, which I would like to go, I'll be honest, I'd love to see Rome, the Colosseum, the Vatican, Sicily, all the statues and shit, the Sistine Chapel, Da Vinci, Ezio. I would like to see it all, but like, at the same time, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be like, what do y'all got to eat? Like, what's good here? I feel like the Europeans also don't really like to eat. Maybe because like all their food is like not that great, I'll be honest. Or maybe they're tired of it. Or maybe like they kind of want a little bit more innovation and creativity with food, but they don't have that because each and every country there is its own country. And it's not like a melting pot like we got back here in the States. Like, do you think that if you go to Italy, you're going to find some nice French cuisine there? I doubt it. You think if you go to London, you're going to find a good place to eat some sauerkraut and sausage? Are they doing Germany? Probably not. If you go to Finland, are you going to find a nice spaghetti place? A nice, like, pizza parlor there? A pizzeria? Probably not. So I feel like Europeans, because of, like, they have such small countries there, every country is just tied to what their country does. That's about it. Like in America, like I live in California. I could find great American food, great Mexican food, great Japanese food, great Hawaiian food, great Chinese food, all in like a city. I can find it all. Can you do that in Europe? I don't know if you can, but I would assume not, because if they had that, if they had the variety of food, they'd be much bigger than they are, right? They would be much bigger. They're all twigs there. Come on. They have like no brands. Every video I've seen of like a European city or of someone like touring Europe, all their shirts are like, got like nothing on it, like just like a beige color, maybe some stripes or like a pattern, but like no actual brand. Like they have like no like Nike, Adidas, Puma, or like a skateboarding brand like Quicksilver, Volcom that we used to wear when we were kids. Nothing like that. I mean, there's nothing there. I'm not trying to shit on Europe for this long, but it's just like I'm just thinking of like Europe is just kind of like a boring place to be, I think. Maybe I would not want a vacation in Europe because of how boring it actually can be. Maybe the only real appeal to go to Europe is to see some old shit. Like a cobblestone road, or like an old church, or like an old painting, like the Mona Lisa's in Europe, right? Like I would want to see the Mona Lisa, but like once I see it, I'm like, okay, time to go. I would go to Italy to see the Colosseum and, stand in the middle of it and be like, are you not entertained? And then I would leave. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like to eat their food, but like if they don't got that much for like the portion, like I might be out within like a couple days. I don't know. I heard that their bread is really good in Europe. Listen, bread is delicious, but like how good could it possibly be? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, like how good? I mean, I think I could make bread as good as they do in Europe in my oven. You know? I mean, I want to see how good this European bread is. Like if it's really that good. You know, if it's actually all that it's hyped up to be. I would like to try it. I also like just imagine like Europe doesn't have like cool things to do. Like I feel like Europe doesn't have movie theaters. I feel like they just have like stages outside where you can just watch like a play. Like they're just so much more sophisticated and like classical than we are. Like I just don't think that they have movie theaters. Maybe in England where they're like a little bit more modernized, but like Italy, Germany, France, like they don't have movie theaters. Come on. They watch all their shows outside on a stage. They're all plays. Come on, let's be real. There's no way Europeans have movie theaters. Come on. Whenever you see like the gross budget of like a movie that's like that's out there that's been released to the public, a lot of it comes from the United States and like the other is like worldwide. I'd have to imagine like the rest of it is like in like Asia, India, where they have like a big populations. Like Europe's not gonna contribute to that whatsoever. You think that they like American shit over there in Europe? Come on, they would have come over here if they wanted to be American. Come on, they're not gonna. I mean, they're there to be European. They're there to like drink wine and smell bad and not put on deodorant and eat like a couple strands of spaghetti for their meal and take a nap, and that's all they do. I mean, come on, really? I don't know. I'm an idiot. That totally cannot possibly be but what Europe is. But like, I don't know. I just like get the feel like they just don't like our crap. So why would they want to do things that we do? I don't know. Speaking of smelly people, I had gone to the movie theaters last week because we have that in America and we have the best movie theaters in America. And I went to go see Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning in IMAX. I haven't been to an IMAX movie in maybe about a year. I think the last IMAX movie I saw was Dune Part 2 last year. So it's been a while since I've been to the IMAX theater, but Mission Impossible came out. I'm like, you know what? I got to see this on the biggest screen that I got nearby. So I went to go see it in IMAX. And I'm going to review that movie later, but unfortunately, I had a bad movie going experience, not because of the movie itself, but because of the etiquette of some people that go to the movies. I sat next to a dude and his girlfriend at the movie theater, and I mean, this dude straight up stunk like bad. Like, I don't know exactly how I could pinpoint the smell, but he smelled like a smelly white kid, a smelly white guy. I mean, like, not trying to profile. Mexicans got a smelly smell. Chinese people, I'm sure, have a smelly smell. This guy just smelled like smelly white guy. I know you know what that smell is. You all know. We all went to school with people that smell like this. This guy smelled like smelly white guy. And every time he adjusted in his seat, every time he moved up a little bit, the oxygen that he emitted would just, disperse in all directions. And I would get a hot piping whiff of it and be like, dude, brother, like, how could you possibly go to a movie theater? How could you possibly leave your house smelling that the way that you do right now? I was disappointed. I was disgusted. I was like, dude, of course I would have to sit by this guy who stinks. Why? I mean, what did I do to deserve this? So it's nearly a 3-hour movie of me just inhaling this guy's odor. Just not even like constantly, right? It would just kind of appear. I'd get a couple normal breaths in. I'd be like, I'm breathing freely. Nice. And then, oh, I got some of that. Oh, God. And then he was also very animated. Like, he, like, laughed loudly. He, like, said, yeah, pretty loud for a movie theater. Like, excuse me, sir. Like, you're not in your living room. Like, this is not your home. This is not your living room. Like, this is a movie theater with the public. Behave. I mean, I couldn't believe how, like, for one, he smelled. Two, he just didn't know how to behave. I mean, is it really that hard to, like, not make a noise in a movie theater? Like, I get it. He was with his girl and he wanted to be, like, you know, a little bit more, have probably, like show, like, hey, I'm a fun guy. You know, I laugh at things. But, like, dude, like, tone it down a little bit. You know? Like, it wasn't all that funny. You didn't have to laugh that hard. Someone in the movie, you know, dies, and, like, he straight up, like, kind of, like, laughed at it out loud. I was just like, oh no, like, this sucks. Like, this movie's good, but this sucks really bad. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna, you know, do anything about it, because if I did something about it, like, I would be not as, I would be, like, as bad as he is, but maybe even worse, you know. So I stood quiet throughout the theater. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I was polite. I had movie etiquette and everything. And this guy just did not have that whatsoever. Not one bit. And you could tell, like, he didn't want me to sit there, because he had his phone in my cup holder. And I'm like, when I'm walking to my seat, I'm sitting there. I'm like about to sit down. I'm like, this guy also just does some stupid shit where, like, he just becomes, like, territorial because there's nobody in that seat yet. It's like, buddy, I mean, the movie hasn't started yet. People are still coming in to watch the movie. Like, you're not in the clear yet, all right? 20 minutes into the movie has started, you're probably in the clear where no one's going to be coming in and taking that spot, right? The movie hasn't even begun yet. The trailers haven't begun yet, all right? Don't take what's not yours yet, okay? Like, the immaturity on this man just, like, infuriated me. That this man actually existed, you know? I could not believe it. It was one of the worst experiences that I've had in my life at a movie theater in a very long time. You know, in a movie that I wanted to watch, that I wanted to see, that I was waiting to see, you know, excited to see, and I just get not totally ruined, but, like, kind of like, like, man, that sucked. That could have been better without this guy. Smelled terrible, immature, no movie theater etiquette. Like, all right, I mean, I guess children or adults just act like children now, like, in public like this. Like, this is just embarrassing. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it, so I just, like, did the best I could to enjoy the movie, which I did. I enjoyed it. So now we get to my review portion of it. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning review. It's not called Dead Reckoning Part 2, which I had thought it would be called, because the seventh movie is called Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, I don't know why they changed it. I really don't. I think because we were, like, in the era where it was called Doom Part 1, and then Doom Part 2 came out, and, like, in the middle between those two movies, we had Dead Reckoning Part 1, Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Those movies came out, and they just kind of went with the Part 1, you know, in the title type of thing. I don't know why they did that, but, like, they did. But this title was changed to The Final Reckoning, to not, you know, and to not, like, confuse audiences. This is the final Mission Impossible film. And it was really, really good. It was a great movie. Exhilarating action, great performances, really good story. It harkens back to Mission Impossible 1 quite a bit, some of 3, which I have not seen. So that was a little bit of a confusion for me because I had not seen those movies. So like the fact that it relied on some of the plot and some of the characters that are in this movie for you to know like things about them sort of would have I think would have made the viewing experience better for me. But me not knowing that, it wasn't like, oh, I hate this movie or oh, I don't know what's going on. But I do think that if I had watched those movies and I had knew the characters from those movies, I would have had a deeper like for this movie. But it is not a perfect Mission Impossible movie. It's not like Mission Impossible Fallout, where that movie to me is perfect. A perfect movie. This movie kind of struggles in the first half to kind of find its bearings in a way. Like it's telling a good story, but the way it's paced and the way it's telling it is a little disjointed for my viewing pleasure. Like it's just not as smooth and not as tight as I would have liked it to be. It's a little choppy. It's a little not slow, but it's a little like trying to cram things in a pace that's just like not necessarily working as good as it has in the past. So the first half is a little wonky. It is. I heard that it was, and I'm like, really? This is a Christopher McQuarrie film. He makes great films. Let me really see for this for myself. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little choppy. It's a little disjointed. It's a little all over the place right now. It's a little hard to, not hard, I wouldn't say hard, but it's a little like sporadic, I would say. I mean, not saying like it's a total terrible watch, but it's just like a little, could have been done a lot smoother and a lot easier to truly see what was going on. But nonetheless, the second half, when it gets going, I mean, there are some fantastic scenes in this movie. Tom Cruise continues to be a guy who just will make stunts look as real as possible. There's a scene where he is in a submarine under the ocean, and it is some of the most exhilarating, heart-pounding like action sequences that I've ever seen on a movie. In a movie, I'm like, this looks incredible. The tension is just there. It's executed perfectly. Like this is just a beautiful, not beautiful, but like a really intense scene that is made like, you know, it's completely fake, right? It's a movie. Like it's obviously fake, but like it just feels so real. Like my heart is like beating out of my chest at that point. Like it's just like, holy shit, is this guy gonna live? Like this feels way too real, you know? And then there's like another scene like down the road, like where it involves 2 biplanes and these stunts on the planes. I'm just like, oh wow, it's just incredible. It might be like the most incredible stunt that he's ever pulled off. I think is in these 2 biplanes in this one sequence. Like it's just incredible on how it's captured. Like, you know it's fake, right? For the most part, it is going to be fake. There's going to be wires and tethers and cables keeping people from getting hurt, but like you can't even tell like they're being wired at all when you watch it. It's just like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is insane. It's just wild. I mean, you know, this being the quote unquote final movie in the franchise, you know, they got to go out with a bang. And not only is it a bang with the action and the stunts, but like it hits you emotionally too towards the end. It's like, damn, man, if this is truly the end, then I'm incredibly sad that this is ending the way that it is. It's a good ending. It's a solid ending, you know, and it's just like, damn, is this really going to be the end of all these characters? You know, Mission Impossible is not like it's not like a Marvel. It's not like Star Wars, where it's like, you know everything about the characters, everybody knows about them, but it's still a lovable, beloved franchise. I would say, like, if you were to pit it like What are some of the better like action movie franchises out there? They're like not like Marvel, but not Star Wars. You could probably, go like Mission Impossible, James Bond, Jurassic Park, Fast and Furious. Like Mission Impossible is probably the better one of all of those because the movies in those, the quality of the movies in that franchise are far superior to the other ones that I had mentioned. I mean, we are at the point where, I said this before, but Mission Impossible is just better than James Bond right now. The movies are just better. Like the track record of the movies and the success of the movies and the movies are just better. And I've seen all of the Daniel Craig James Bonds, and I've seen a lot, I've seen 5 of the 8 Tom Cruise Mission Impossible films. And I'll say I could tell you that the most current, Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies are far better than the current Daniel Craig James Bond films. They are. I'm just gonna say it flat out. They are. So yeah, Mission Impossible was a great movie, fantastic movie. I think it might be the lowest one I have rated in the past 5 that have come out. The past 5 that I've seen are Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, Fallout, Dead Reckoning, and The Final Reckoning. Those are the 5 that I've seen. I would go to rank them. Fallout, Ghost, Rogue Nation, Dead Reckoning, and then Final Reckoning. The first 4 are like phenomenal, but this one's kind of little choppy. First half kind of makes it fall on the pecking order to number 5 out of the 5 that I've seen. Still a great film, I'll be honest. Still a great, fantastic watch. But you might be surprised on the score that I give it, that it is at the bottom of those 5. The score that I gave Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning on X, which if you follow on X, you've already seen it, was an 8.9 out of 10. That's because when you have a movie like Fallout that gets an 11 out of 10, it's really hard to beat that. Really, really hard to beat that. I still think Fallout is like one of the most, like, the best action movies I've ever seen in my life. Like, flat out, just one of the best ones I've seen. So yeah, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, 8.9 out of 10. I know that it seems like Tom Cruise is going to be done with the Mission Impossible movies, but there's reports out there that he is set to revive a character and make it its own franchise. That character is Lex Grossman. If you haven't seen Tropic Thunder, you should watch it. But he's in that movie. He's playing a movie producer with a crazy personality, enraged ego, just like crazy character in that movie. He's just a side character. That's just it. He's just playing the producer of the movie that's in the movie Tropic Thunder. Like they're trying to make a movie in the movie, and he's playing the producer. Great casting, by the way. But they want to make a spin-off movie of that character and potentially maybe franchise it. I don't know. Maybe make more. Is that going to be Tom Cruise's next calling? Going from Ethan Hunt to Lex Grossman? That could be something that could be pretty cool, I'll be honest. I mean, I know it was just a silly, over-the-top side character that was in one of the best comedies that come out in the past 20 years in Tropic Thunder, but like, man, I think that could be actually a really fun idea if they can do it right. Like, if that's something that they actually think about and they take their time with it, they don't half-ass it, and they they really put in some effort to it. That could be something that would be really, really funny. That could actually like make people like, you know what? Totally unexpected, totally not wanted, but we did not know that we needed that. Or it could be completely unnecessary, completely like nobody asked for this, so why did you make this? And just be terrible. It could go either way, you know? Tom Cruise, if you look at his filmography, he isn't in a whole lot of movies recently. He's been in Mission Impossibles, Top Gun Maverick, I think it was like a movie about like American something, like he was like a thief or something like that. And then Jack Reacher. Like he's not in a ton of movies like right now. He's just not. He's just mainly in like his movies, you know, Mission Impossible, Top Gun, that American movie, and then like what was The Mummy, right? He's not in a whole lot of movies. So if you can add like another character that he's known for, like you got Top Gun, you got Mission Impossible, add this Les Grossman character that he was just remembered for when it came out, like this could be like his new character that that's who he is. That would be funny. Like he would just be like, you know, he's just a movie star. Like this is what they do, you know. So yeah, that's an idea that's actually, you know, going around Hollywood that people might want to see. It seems like Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie, the director of the Mission Impossible movies, wants to do. So it's like, you know, this could work. This could absolutely work. One more thing before I go, though. It's about gaming. The revival of Star Wars Battlefront 2. If you guys have seen this, I have partaken in it, and Battlefront 2 is a fantastic game. It's a great game. Like, it looks good, it runs good, it sounds good, feels good, looks good. It's a good game. And, like, people are coming back to it like, dude, look how good this game is. It's like, yeah, I remember how good this game is. I was there when it came out in the dark days. In the days where they battled back and made it a good game. And now, because games suck right now, let's be honest, they do. It looks even better than the games that come out within the past year and a half. An 8-year-old game looks better than some of the newer games that come out today. Isn't that insane? But you know what? I'm not hating, because I'm playing it and I'm enjoying the hell out of this game. I mean, it is so much fun, and it's just been a great time. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week.